Good afternoon. In today's video, I wanted to bring you along to the bonsai workshop that I went to this past weekend. I took my first bonsai. It is a juniper. That's typically the first bonsai a lot of people have. This tree is now overgrown and is in desperate need for a trim. I'm unsure exactly how to trim a juniper properly, so I wanted to bring this to the workshop and to be able to get advice and to go through this. And I wanted to bring you guys along to hear that same advice and instructions for this tree. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and let's get into it. So essentially thinning it out like...
Yep.
So I'm going in here and finding, so like this one here, going in and just taking...
Yep. And just always try to, get in between those leaves. I mean, it doesn't matter, it's just gonna make them brown.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't like that.
Yeah.
So you might want to go let's see. This one looks a lot more full than this side.
Yes.
So I would try and equal it out a little bit. Okay. And the reason it is because it's just got a lot more stuff.
Okay.
There's a lot of brown stuff in here, so you can. Now, if it doesn't come off like that, you can get tweezers and go in there, but that takes a long time.
Yeah.
So I would only do that like for a show or whatever, but that's just because I'm lazy. And just find little areas you can do just to thin it out. See how there's just so many branches coming from one area?
Yeah. And so like that one there, it's coming from over there, crossing over. Would you kind of leave that in there?
I would leave it for now.
Okay.
So usually how most people do junipers is they do everything going straight up and straight down, your crotch growth, stuff like that, and it'll look like, that fish bone.
Yeah.
And then you lay those fish bones on top of each other to make your pads. But we don't have this growing out here. So eventually we'll make this that fishbone look, and then we'll lay that on top of it.
Yeah, I did that fishbone look like a year or so ago, and I was like, this thing looks like garbage.
Yeah. So I tried to leave a few up here just to lay down to cover it. So like this one here, that'll cover that, in next year.
So if you're looking at the kind of the location of the branches, you have this one looking at the branch like this. You have this one's higher than this one, and then you got these two that are lower. So would you want to bring that one up and bring these together, or what would you? Or would you continue to keep that one low to kind of match that, and then this try to pull this down further?
This is your first branch here, even though this is the thickest.
So that's kind of my question. Would you just eliminate these two branches here at the bottom and kind of raise that one up, and then this would essentially be kind of your bottom?
If it was going to be a taller tree, I would do that.
Well, it can be a taller tree. I'm just trying to get obviously the best looking out of it.
Yeah.
So if you were going to handle it, how would you? I would
have it taller.
You would have it taller.
I would, but that's just. Yeah. That's just because this is your first branch. This needs to be your first branch.
Yeah. Okay.
And even then, if you take a look at it, this one here is thicker than your main trunk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's just how they grow.
Yeah.
Because one goes off to the side and grows really long. And it doesn't matter that it does that. I would have it a little bit taller.
Okay.
Maybe to here, and it would just make things a lot easier.
Yeah.
I would probably get rid of these two if you made this your first branch and had it taller. Yeah. This one's okay though to keep, and you can just have it level, so it's not at the same level as this.
Yeah.
But I would keep these for now. I wouldn't do this today.
Okay.
Just because you don't have to make the decision like right now.
Yeah. So if I wanted to get the taller and get it thicker up here, potentially just take it out of this pot and just stick it in an even bigger.
You could.
Could.
Yeah, you don't want to go too big, because if you put it in too big of a pot, it actually slow it down. So go, maybe 2 or 3 inches up.
Okay, well I don't have anything like that, so we'll just leave it in.
I've got tree pots. You're more than welcome to them if you want to, or you can. This is in pine bark.
Yes.
If it's in pine bark, it doesn't feel like it's real bad root bound, and it seems to be growing very good.
Yeah.
So you could leave it in here.
Okay.
And I would think it would be okay.
So
is this the growth that you got from 1 year?
Yes. From this past season.
Okay.
Yes.
And how much do you fertilize?
Maybe maybe once a month.
Okay, and you just use like Miracle Grow or whatever?
Yeah, Miracle Grow, or
Okay.
I'll do the foliar spray with the
Yeah, that should be fine.
fish emulsion.
Since it's in pine bark, I think it would be okay. Unless, how long has it been in here?
I think
2 years. You can do it this month.
Okay.
Or next month, either one. You take it out and just look at the outside layers.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be really root bound,
Yeah.
just because it doesn't feel like it is.
Yeah.
That's pretty moss, by the way.
Yeah.
And then you could take that outer layer off and put it back in there. I wouldn't take a lot of roots off because that'll just slow it down even more.
Okay.
I would go ahead and wire this up.
Wire it up?
Yep. Or you could use just a bamboo stake and pop it up. Either one would work.
Okay.
I would go ahead and prune. Let's see. More than likely, we're going to wire these out somehow. So I would even prune these. These are good. Definitely not prune that.
Yeah.
So I probably wouldn't prune anything from here up.
Okay.
Just these bottom ones because we got to slow this down.
Okay.
Just so it stops getting so wide.
So
I would thin this a little bit more out. If you can find just little places that you can thin it out.
Okay.
Just because, it does look a pretty drastic from this side and that side.
Yeah.
So it'll want to start to grow over here instead of grow over here.
So you would say potentially next year, take these branches off.
Yeah.
Would you take them off like in the spring, or would you wait until this time next year to take these off?
Any time would be fine.
Okay.
You could do it in the summer. You could do it in the spring.
Yeah.
Almost any time.
How much assistance would that give it to thicken up this base more so it's not so?
If you'd let one of these just run, it would thicken it up, pretty quickly, and then you could use it as a gin. Once it gets thick. To me, these are one of the harder ones to prune.
I hope you enjoyed today's video reviewing this juniper. Again, this is my first bonsai that I've ever had, and I remember getting it and not knowing anything about bonsai. About a year ago, I did a trim on this and it looked like garbage. So I didn't really touch it for a long time. I wanted it to kind of grow back, fill in. I wanted to take it back and get a more expert opinion on it. And as you can see, we've thinned it out, and we've wired the top here to allow it to grow. 2 branches probably next year are going to get removed. This will be the first branch, this will be the second branch, and then you have the top that we're going to allow it to grow. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.